Hello, dear students. Today we will do the chapter "The Lost Child" from your book Moments. As you know that you have two books of literature. One is Beehive and one is Moment. So the given chapter is from the book Moments. So let us read the chapter and come to know about the story given over there. The story is written by an Indian writer, Mulk Raj Anand. He is a very famous writer regarding the social stories. In this story, he has given one great notion, one great thinking that a person can be happy only and only if he is with his loving ones. He feels all the surroundings full of happiness. He feels relaxed. He feels enjoyful when he is with his family members, when he is with his loving ones. Let us start to read the chapter. A child goes to a fair with his parents. He is happy and excited and wants the sweets and toys displayed there. But his parents don't buy them for him. Why then does he refuse when someone else offers them to him? So, in this chapter, we'll come to know that a child who was very excited and who wants to get the sweets and toys everywhere when he goes to a fair with his parents. In that fair, he is attracted by all the things displayed over there, but his parents don't buy them for him. Why then he refuses when somebody else offers the whole things to him? Let us come to know the reason for his refusal. It was the festival of spring. From the wintry shade of narrow lanes in LA emerged a gaily clad humanity. Some walked, some rode on horse, others sat, being carried in bamboo and bullock carts. One little boy ran between his father's legs, brimming over with life and laughter. So it is given over there that it was a festival of spring season, and from the wintry shades of narrow lanes and alleys emerged a gaily clad humanity. Means from a very narrow streets and paths, some human beings were coming out with happiness. From all of them, some were walking, some were riding on the horses, others were sitting on some bullock carts or bamboo carts, and one little boy was running between his father's legs, and he was full of life. Brimming means full of life, with life, excitement, and laughter. "Come, child, come," called his parents as he lagged behind, fascinated by the toys in the shops that lined the way. He hurried towards his parents, his feet obedient to their call, his eyes still lingering on the receding toys as he came to where they had stopped to wait for him. He could not suppress the desire of his heart, even though he well known the old cold stare of refusal in their eyes. "I want that toy," he pleaded. His father looked at him red-eyed. In his familiar tyrant's way, his mother, melted by the free spirit of the day, was tender and giving him finger to hold, said, "Look, child, what is before you?" So when the child was going on with his parents and he was lagging behind because of being attracted by all the things in the shops, toy shops and all the other surroundings, he was just getting back near to his parents after being called by them again and again. But his eyes, they were still lingering, they were still fixed on the receding toys. And he knew that when he would try to get all these toys, he would express his desire to get the toys, definitely his parents would deny. So when he requested to his father to get the toy, his father looked at him with red-eyed, It means his father looked at him with angrily look, and it cleared to the boy that his father was not willing to purchase that toy for him. On the other side, his mother, she was kind hearted, and she tried to distract the mind of the child in some other way so that he could forget the toy. It was a flowering mustard field, pale like melting gold as it swept. It was a flowering mustard field, pale like melting gold as it swept across miles and miles of even land. A group of dragonflies were bustling about on their gaudy purple wings, intercepting the flight of a lone black bee or butterfly in search of sweetness from the flowers. The child followed them in the air with his gaze till one of them would still its wings and rest, and he would try to catch it. So, dear students, very beautifully it has been described the scene of nature by the writer. When the child was going to the fair, on the way, it was a flowering mustard field, and the field was full of pale like melting gold as it swept across miles and miles of even land. And the mustard flowers were blooming, and they were looking like the whole land was covered for miles with those flowers. And on the other side, a dragonflies group of dragonflies were also bustling here and there with their beautiful purple wings, and they were intercepting the flight of a lone black bee or butterfly in search of sweetness from the flower. On the other side, butterflies and bees were also could be seen to get the sweetness from the flowers. And the child, he was followed them in the air with his gaze, with his look, till one of them would still its wings and rest. When one of the butterfly, which took rest on one of the flower, the child got attracted towards that little butterfly, and he tried to catch it. But it would go fluttering, flapping up into the air. When he had almost caught it in his hands, then his mother gave a cautionary call. Come, child, come. Come on to the footpath. He ran towards his parents gaily and walked abreast of them for a while, being, however, soon left behind, attracted by the little insects and worms along the footpath that were teeming out from their hiding places to enjoy the sunshine. So, when the child was just up to catch the little butterfly, it instantly went fluttering, flapping up into the air, and it was not caught by the child. On the same time, the mother called him, and he ran towards his parents happily and walked with them for a while, and then, still being attracted by all the other things, he soon left behind, and at this time he was attracted by the little insects and worms along the footpath. They were teeming out from their hiding places to enjoy the sunshine. They were coming out from their hiding places to enjoy the sunshine. Come, child, come, his parents called from the shade of a grove where they had seated themselves on the edge of a wall. He ran towards them. A shower of young flowers fell upon the child as he entered the grove, and forgetting his parents, he began to gather the raining petals in his hands. So the parents of the child were continuously calling him to come with them, to move with them, but on the other side, the child was attracted by the beautiful nature again and again. He was called by the parents, and the parents seated themselves on the edge of a wall to take some rest. That well was in a grove, in a small garden. He ran towards them, and at that time a shower of young flowers fell upon the child as he entered the grove in the garden, and forgetting his parents, when he was beautifully caught by the small flowers falling from the tree, and he began to gather those raining petals in his hands after being too much happy in that natural scene. But lo, he heard the cooing of doves and ran towards his parents, shouting, the dove. The raining petals dropped from his forgotten hands. As you know that he was just a little child, so innocent he was. When he was collecting the petals in his hand, suddenly he heard the cooing of doves, and he got attracted that cooing and ran towards his parents shouting, "The dove, the dove." And this running made him all the petals dropped from his forgotten hands. "Come, child, come," they called to the child. The parents called the child to come with them, who had now gone running in wild capers round the banyan tree, and gathering him up, they took the narrow, winding footpath which led to the fair through the mustard fields. So this time the parents of the child were ready again to go to cover the journey to reach to the fair, and they were also ready to take some narrow, winding footpath which led to the fair through the mustard field. As they neared the village, the child could see many other footpaths full of throngs covering the whirlpool of the fair, and felt at once repelled and fascinated by the confusion of the world he was entering. A sweetmeat seller hawked gulab jamun, rasgulla, burfi, jalebi at the corner of the entrance, and a crowd pressed round his counter at the foot of an architecture of many colored sweets, decorated with leaves of silver and gold. So, dear students, when he reached near the fair with his parents, from some distance of the fair ground in near the village, there were many footpaths which were full of throngs, people, full of crowd, and there was a great whirlpool of the fair, and it could be felt at once repelled and fascinated. The child was fascinated by seeing that crowd in the very big fair, and he was confused also how he should react. When he entered into the fair, just in the beginning, the sweetmeat sellers hawked, called, or cried for selling his sweets by calling gulab jamun, rasgulla, barfi, jalebi, etc. And a crowd pressed round his counter at the roof of an architect. The child saw that at the counter of the sweet meat sellers there were many people who were very eager to get their sweets from him, and the shop of the sweets was completely heaped up. It was covered with many colorful and decorated sweets, and the sweets were full of leaves of silver and gold even. The child stared open-eyed, and his mouth watered for the burfi that was his favorite sweet. "I want that burfi," he slowly murmured, but he half knew that as he begged that his plea would not be heeded because his parents would say he was greedy. So without waiting for an answer, he moved on. A flower seller hawked a garland of gulmohar, a garland of gulmohar. The child seemed irresistibly drawn. So when the child looked at the sweet, he got mouth watered for the burfi as it was his favorite sweet. He thought that when he would ask his parents to get the burfi for him, he was not sure that the parents would be able to get that sweet for him or not. So he was sure that the parents would deny him, as without waiting for an answer, he moved on. And after that, in the fair, a flower seller hawked a garland of gulmohar, a garland of gulmohar. At that calling, the child seemed irresistibly drawn. Means the child was attracted to that flower garland also. He went towards the basket where the flowers lay heaped and half murmured, "I want that garland." But he well knew his parents would refuse to pay him those flowers because they would say that they were cheap. So without waiting for an answer, he moved on. This time also he knew that his father would not purchase those garland of flowers for him. He knew that the answer of the parents. He expected that the parents would answer that they were very cheap, they were not worth purchasing. So without waiting for an answer from them, he moved on from there also. Thank you, dear students. And the next part of the chapter we'll do very soon. Till then, stay home, stay healthy.